Watch me prune this young open center apple tree. See, we've got all of this growth that has to come off. We have to shorten the secondaries coming off the scaffolds. Have to shorten these all the way around the tree. There's 5 scaffolds on this open center apple tree. Each scaffold was pruned approximately 20 inches from the trunk. All this new growth coming off the scaffold is approximately 30 inches, and including the branches growing straight up, those are about 3 feet. I'm going to shorten last year's growth. These secondary branches coming off of the scaffold that will continue the growth, the length and the spread of the scaffold, I'm going to shorten them to about a foot on each and every scaffold. The last year's secondary growth branches coming off the scaffolds that are growing up, now those will be shortened from 36 inches to about 8 inches, depending on where they're at. Later on, these branches will be removed to keep the tree nice and open in the center. But for right now, they won't be removed because I want some fruit off of them. Now in last year's video, I removed the secondaries off the scaffolds that were very close to the trunk. You can watch that video to check it out. And I removed anything growing on the trunk that isn't a scaffold. Now the branching coming off the scaffold, these secondaries will be pruned about a foot from the scaffold. So from here out, be about a foot, because this is the continuation of the tree. It'll spread more and more. I don't want it 2 feet, that's too big. And I don't want it 8 inches at this point because I want a little more spread. So I'm going to prune about 12 inches from the scaffold. And there's another good candidate right there. Prune it just above. So you head that back just above that bud, 1/8 of an inch at an angle. Scaffold, 12 inches. See how this kinks right here? I don't want it to kink right there, so I'm going to use this bud right there, pointing down and healthy. I have to put the camera down to make the cuts, and we'll show you what it looks like. Give you a little shot here. There's the ones over there. There's the branching over there. There's some more here. As you can see, the branching coming off the main scaffold all been headed back about a foot. There's 2. And over here, you can see the cut there, right above the bud, at an angle. These are headed back, meaning you shorten the branch. Thinning would be removed at the collar here. These are headed back. Now, these later on will be removed, but what I'm going to do is head back these even tighter and shorter so I can get some fruit off of them. Later on, they'll be removed. But for right now, all of these headed back. In later years, these branches will be removed to keep it open in the center. You can see where I pruned last year, just a few inches. I'm going to move 2 or 3 buds up and prune it again because this will produce fruit. But eventually these will be removed so they don't clutter up your tree. You can see where I pruned it last year. So we'll just continue that. I'll set down the camera and show you the end result. And remember to read the description. I often put information down there. And share this video. Share, share, share. If you like my content, share it. Get involved. Be active. Share it on Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, anywhere you can. Before, this is the finished tree. Now we spray all the cuts with hydrogen peroxide or rubbing alcohol. Be careful with hydrogen peroxide, it can burn the buds. So, just a little bit. One last thing, don't prune these off. Leave them. You'll get fruit from most. As you notice, they have tie downs. This tree no longer needs them. Some of the new growth might, but I doubt it. And I'll be removing these. Yeah, they just spread the tree out nicely. And I'll be removing those. And I hope I helped. And I'll be doing another summer pruning video on this tree. Pruning a brand new fruit tree in my next video. Ciao.